So the year I quit smoking made me an additional $100,000 in the year. Now, this video is not clickbait, this title is not BS, like this is actual truth. Everything, if you watched more of my videos, you'll know that I don't just make loads of nonsense up. I don't make titles just so you click on them, like there's actual value inside. And this video isn't even necessarily about the money, but the money in life, like money in general, does help your life out massively. If you believe money doesn't make you happy, then you've got a long way to go, okay? Like money, the things that you can do with money can make you happy, okay? It depends on how you use your money, how you let it work for you, and that's for a separate video. But anyway, a lot of people now, you're probably watching this video, you've probably clicked on this video because it resonates with you, or you're just interested in how quitting smoking actually made me $100,000, £100,000, whatever you want to say, whatever currency you're in. Probably more than that, to be fair, probably more than that. And no, it's not from actual buying cigarettes and buying vapes and buying money, spending money on weed and all that stuff. Like the money that the $100,000 did not come from the money that I saved from not buying the cigarettes, okay? The $100,000 come from three main core pillars, and it's things which you need to dive deeper into. If you're watching this video right now and you want to quit smoking, or you're thinking of quitting smoking, and this title has just kind of hooked you in and has made you interested in how you can potentially have $100,000 extra to your name as well, then please watch the video. Please actually listen to what I'm saying. If something doesn't make sense, either ask me something in the comments to elaborate on a point, or just rewatch it, okay? Because I'm 99% sure what I'm going to say is going to make sense to a lot of you. So a lot of the problem is, a lot of the kind of misconception is from people that do smoke is that they're not going to save much money if they quit, or if the money that they save is only going to be what they spend on cigarettes, which is not the case. We're going to dive a lot deeper into that. A lot of people have this kind of belief that if you stop smoking, then you're not going to save that much money, or it's just going to be minimal, and your life's better off smoking, which couldn't be any more far from the truth, okay? Now, you're probably asking yourself, Cam, what are the three big pillars? And the three big pillars are literally as it goes. You've got healthcare costs, you've got productivity costs, and you've got social costs. Now, that's a lot of like tongue twisting words, so hopefully you understood what I said. Healthcare, productivity, and social. And we're gonna dive deeper into these problems, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly how quitting smoking and using these three pillars generated me an extra $100,000, and probably would not have done the same if I carried on smoking. I probably would not have made that money if I carried on smoking and if I carried on indulging in such a toxic habit. So I can hand on my heart say that I'm an entrepreneur. I can hand on my heart say that I enjoy making businesses, I enjoy creating businesses, and I enjoy making money, okay? You're probably like me, if you're watching this video, who doesn't like creating money? And a fact that I actually seen was that 90% of entrepreneurs do not smoke, and also are less likely to associate with people who smoke. Now, you're probably watching this and you're thinking, why does that matter? But let me just explain. If you're an entrepreneur, or if you want to be around an entrepreneur for you guys that don't know, is someone who just creates businesses, who works for themselves, and is just very like business minded, okay? Someone who likes taking risks and all that kind of stuff. 90% of the time with the more successful people, I think the billionaires or the millionaires in the world, I think there's like only 2% that don't make up of entrepreneurs. The rest, like 98%, are all entrepreneurs. So the majority of people who make businesses and make a lot of money are entrepreneurs. So when I talk about social costs, it's this kind of thing which is going to save you a lot of money, or this is the kind of thing which is going to create you a lot of money. And personally for me, like I'm a prime example of this, okay? Since I stopped quitting smoking, since I actually gave up smoking, I was more likely to make a connection with an entrepreneur. I was more likely to meet somebody and relate to them more. I was more likely to get the respect of an entrepreneur and to share business ideas with an entrepreneur. And it's because of this, which is what generates me, and which is what has generated me some of the money towards that $100,000, because a lot of the people now I speak to, a lot of the people that I do business with are serial entrepreneurs. And yes, some of them may smoke. I'm not saying 100% don't smoke, but the high majority of entrepreneurs do not smoke, and they do not associate with people who smoke. And it's not like a rude thing, it's not like a judgmental thing. It's more so like a thing of like, why would I want to be around somebody who can't even have their own discipline to stop something that they know is killing them and that they know is bad for them. Alcohol, that's another topic for a different story. But smoking, if you're an entrepreneur, it's just like, it just ruins you. Like me personally, I didn't feel like, once I had a cigarette or once I vaped or something, it made me feel worse. It made me feel like disgusting, and it didn't get my mind right. I wasn't as sharp mentally when I was vaping, when I was smoking. So if you're out there right now and you're wondering what a social cost is, it's these kind of things. It's the people that you meet, okay? It's like your network. That's ultimately what it is, like your network. Because if you're smoking and you're around people and you maybe you smell of cigarettes as well, like that's another thing that I want to talk about. Maybe you actually stink of cigarettes. Now, for someone that used to smoke, and a lot of people that you speak to who probably did used to smoke as well, the smell of cigarettes now for me is disgusting. Like if I go and meet someone and I'm doing a business deal with them, or I'm going to talk about business or money or a new idea, and they're stinking of cigarettes, automatically I'm just like subconsciously put off by them. I'm subconsciously thinking, nah, this isn't like my right partner. This isn't the person that I want to be doing business with. Because if you can't look after yourself, if you can't get yourself in good shape, if you can't kind of do the simple things and just have some kind of willpower to stop doing things that are killing you and just not good for you at all, then why would I want to go into business with you? Why would I want to trust you with finances and trust you with reputation? So it's not attractive to smoke. It's not attractive to smell like cigarettes. And once you stop smoking, and this is something that I learned once I stopped smoking, is the smell of cigarettes is just disgusting now. Like before, like when I used to smoke or whatever, like years ago, I used to think like, yeah, like I can't smell cigarettes. People say, oh, you stink of fags or something. And you'd be like, what, do I? Or someone would come in and you can tell they've just been outside. I had it the other day. I was in a co-working area here in Thailand, Chiang Mai. And I was sitting next to in a booth next to this guy. And he went somewhere for 5 minutes. He come back and he just stunk of cigarettes, man. And it actually made me want to get up and leave. It actually made me want to move where I was sitting or even leave the building, because I don't want to be working and I can smell cigarettes, or someone next to me stinks of cigarettes. Like it's not attractive. Same with like weed. Same with like even vaping as well. Like vaping, you have all these like weird flavors like cherry and fucking limeade and all this crazy stuff. And it's like, it's not attractive. So please, if you're going to take anything from this section of the video, this kind of social pillar, is that don't surround yourself, or don't be the person who stinks of cigarettes. Don't be the person who, when you go and shake someone's hand, you smell of cigarettes, or that like you want to meet somebody but you smoke and you know it's not good for you, and you know that the person that you're meeting is just a different caliber and they're just not on what the kind of bad habits that you're doing, because it will put them off and eventually it will make you lose money in the long term. Now, the second pillar, healthcare costs. This is pretty obvious. This is probably something which you probably knew that I was going to say if you're watching this video right now when you're thinking about quitting smoking or whatever, or cigarettes, because healthcare costs are a big one. In the UK, we have like the NHS, so we get free healthcare as such. But in America, I know you guys don't. You have to pay for your own healthcare. And majority of the world, to be fair, you have to pay for your own healthcare. So if you're more likely to get lung cancer, if you're more likely to get heart disease from smoking, why would you do it? Why would you put yourself in a position where you could be potentially paying thousands for medical bills in the future? Me personally, I haven't been doctors for anything like health related as such. Obviously, I've had injuries where I've like maybe bruised my knee or I pulled my back the other week from exercising. But in terms of like health habits or bad habits that give me poor health, I haven't been the doctors for that for years. I can't even remember. Like I remember I used to smoke. When I used to smoke vapes, I remember I used to get like a really like tight chest and like wheezy. So I used to go to doctors and it used to say like I had asthma and all these things. But realistically, I was just giving my body bad stuff. I was just putting toxins in my body, which was just making me go to the doctors more. Luckily, I had free healthcare for the NHS, but if I didn't, then it would have been more money. And I honestly believe the last 1 to 2 years, which I haven't smoked at all, I've saved a lot of money through healthcare, because I've been living abroad, because I've been traveling a lot, I've been staying fit, I've been staying active, I've been eating correctly, because I want to keep my medical bills down. Yes, I have travel insurance. Yes, I kind of protect myself and think of worst case scenarios, but I don't ever use my travel insurance. I don't ever need to really think about that, because I look after myself like on a kind of personal level. And that's another way you can save a lot of money, which is something a lot of people overlook, these healthcare costs, because you might feel okay now. You might feel fine after 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years of smoking. But wait till you get further down the line, and before you know it, you're hit with a fat medical bill, or you lose your life, or you're close to losing your life. And you think, crap, like I've really got to stop this now. But why not stop now? Why wait until it gets to that point? Why wait until your health is deteriorating in front of you? I don't understand that mindset. If you can stop now, then I don't know why you shouldn't. You're going to save a lot of money from doing so. Let's get on to pillar number 3. So number 3 is productivity costs. Now this one, we can dive a little bit deeper. This is probably the pillar which you're probably more interested in, because you're thinking, what do you mean productivity? Now, the first point that I'm going to make is you're more likely to have sick days. If you're smoking, you're more likely to take days off, okay? And if you take days off, not only are you losing out on money, right? Think about that. If you take a sick day at work or whatever, you might get paid for it, but then you might not get paid for it, okay? And if you take too many, the ones that you only get so many sick days if you work for a company, okay? You only get so many sick days. Now, let's think about it. So it's the knock-on effects that you guys need to start thinking about if you work for a company, for example. If you take a sick day, or say you have to go to the healthcare because you've started smoking or something's wrong and you take like a sick day, it's the knock-on effect from like, all right, you've took a sick day, but then you're probably in bed all day, then you're probably smoking even more. Maybe you're smoking more at home than you would at work, so you're spending more money then on cigarettes. You're damaging your health more because you've took a sick day. And then just think about if you work for a company and you've maybe got a big impact, or you're in a position where your role is like quite important in that company. You could have lost that company a lot of money that day from not being in, from not giving your value, from not giving your expertise. Now, you probably don't care about that, and I'm not saying you should, but the opportunity that you're missing out on, if you have your own company, this is when it becomes quite big of a deal. If you have your own company, you have your own kind of finances that you need to take care of. Sick days are a big thing, and the last thing you want to do is go off work from being sick just because you pardon my language, just because you decide, oh, I'm not going to go in today because I've got a sore chest, or I need to go to the doctors because it's related to my smoking, or all these kind of things. So that's one of the points that I want to mention. Another thing that you need to know, another thing that you need to think about, a lot of smokers, and I used to do this myself when I worked my first job, smoking breaks, fag breaks, cigarette breaks, whatever you want to call them, okay? We used to have this thing where the job that I used to work in, where it was like you'd get like a normal break, but then you'd get a cigarette break. So basically it'd be like a 5-minute break where you go downstairs and have a cigarette. Now, not only is that just a poor way to use your time and a poor way to kind of spend your time, but it's actually damaging you more than you think, okay? And it comes under the productivity, because I don't know about you, but any time I used to go to a smoking area, any time I used to be around people smoking in like a group setting, we never used to talk about business. We never used to talk about how to make money. We never used to talk about being productive. If anything, we'd just talk about other people. We'd start bitching about other people. We'd start bitching about our job, complaining the position that we're in. And it would not be productive at all. So this is a huge productivity cost. This is something which is going to cost you a lot of time and a lot of money further down the line. And the more time you spend around these people who are smoking, the more time you spend around people who are just talking about others, who are not talking about life, like progress, and talking about business, and talking about mindset and how to actually level up, the more you're falling behind, and the more money you're losing out on. Because I haven't been around smokers, because I haven't been like in a social setting where everyone's smoking and I'm just there smoking, I'm just there because I smoke. I'm not there because I actually want to be around these people. Like, I haven't done that in ages, and because I haven't done that, it's made me a lot of money, because it's made me it's put me in different places. Rather than being in the smoking area, I'm in the manager's office talking about promotion. I'm in the kind of the office talking to another entrepreneur about a new business idea. I'm talking about things that I'm actually interested in. I'm talking about things that actually help me. And this has been key for me making $100,000 this year. Like, being around the right people and just indulging in the right habits, and just being in like an environment where you know you're going to succeed. Because if you're in an environment where everyone's smoking, everyone's just doing bad habits, they say you're only a product of your environment, and the 4 people you hang around with, you're the 5th version of that. So if you're around 4 smokers, you're the fifth smoker. If you're around 4 entrepreneurs, you're probably going to be the 5th entrepreneur. If you're around 4 millionaires, you're probably going to be the 5th millionaire. And that has never been more true from experience. I'm not saying I'm a millionaire, far from a millionaire, but maybe one day I will be a millionaire. Who knows? And it's all just going to come from me doing good habits. It's all going to come from me taking control of my own life and actually doing things which align to what I actually want to do. Not the old version of me, not the version that I used to be, the new version that I want to become. So yeah, that's the 3 pillars, guys. Hopefully you've had time to kind of listen to them and maybe watch them back, or maybe dive deeper into them. And even if I've mentioned a point and you don't quite understand it, just type in productivity cost for smoking on Google or whatever, and it will come up with a whole web page where you can just read more deeper into it, because it's a lot deeper than what a lot of you guys think. Like, you might just be sitting there now thinking this guy's just waffling on or whatever, but I'm telling you, I've made over $100,000 this year, and the main driving factor, in my opinion, is from bad habits. And one of them bad habits that I quit was smoking. So believe it or not, like, it's made a huge impact on my life. It's made a huge difference to my life. And I've made this video to hopefully inspire one of you, and to hopefully make something in your head, maybe a light bulb moment, think, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing this, because I'm just digging myself a deeper hole. I'm getting into more and more trouble. I'm not becoming the person I want to become. And if you've watched this video and maybe you've quit smoking, or maybe you're thinking of quitting smoking, or whatever your story is, let us know in the comments. How do you relate to this? Is there anything that you like would give someone else? If you've quit smoking, what advice would you give someone else? If you've yet to quit smoking, ask a question in the comments. Maybe someone might read the comments who's quit smoking and they can help you. I'm going to reply to all the comments anyway, but you never know who's watching, you never know who's trying to help, and you might find your next business partner in the comments. So it's always a good idea to just have a look through the comments. Like the video as well, obviously, because that helps me out a lot. It really does. Like, if you guys like the video, it pushes it out more, gets it to the right people, helps me grow. It's free, it's completely free for you guys. And if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy me, I guess that sounds a bit weird to say, but if you kind of relate to the things that I say and you can see yourself watching the videos more often, then please subscribe to the channel, okay? I'm gonna go for a little walk now, get some lunch, and just enjoy my, what day is it today? In Thailand, it is Tuesday today, so I don't know when this video is gonna be up. I upload weekly on the channel, guys, for you guys that are wondering, so yeah, we'll see when the video is gonna be up, man, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.